Maximilian dude uninstalls Marvel Tokon. PC players are asking for refunds. So everybody knows that the new tag fighter, Marvel Tokon has just released. It's the newest edition of the Marvel, I guess, series, as you will, the Marvel fighting game series. MVC2, MVC3, and all those things. I've never really been a Marvel player myself. Hence I've never really been a tag fighter player. They never really interested me. I liked playing them casually, but on the competitive side, it just never really got to my liking. And unfortunately, it looks like Marvel Tokon is at a rough start at the launch. But only for PC players, not for PS5 players. Um, it's the stuff with like, one-sided rollback. The replay system is absolutely out of sync and it's just terrible. And that's not even talking about the the offensiveness of the game and triple assist. So we're gonna watch this video and we'll see what really is the problem with Marvel Tokon. Oh, there you go.
Round here, them guns get the last word.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're going to talk about what was supposed to be the second golden era of fighting games. I feel like I said this many times before, but it's constantly because these fighting games release and disappoint everyone. I mean,
Yeah.
it's true. This was supposed to be the second golden era of fighting games, but they're all flopping. They're all underperforming. They're all having terrible releases. When you look at the
It's just another thing for me. It's like when I think of fighting games, a lot of the time, like because all these new fighting games, they're also trying to like cater to they're all trying to cater to like casual audiences, and it's like it's a smart move because you make all the money, but it's like, you know, if the game was not like, I don't know, let's say Street Fighter 6 graphics, and it played like, like a typical like not even like a typical modern fighting game, like one from back then, like um I think companies think that like they have to cater to the casual audience so much, when in reality, their regular audience, which is the FGC, they're gonna play it regardless. And I think they're scared to, like, find out that they're pretty much scared to take the risk in order to try to cater to the actual professionals rather than the casual audience.
5-year history and go all the way back, Guilty Gear Strive was the first one to come out. And that one, honestly, is doing pretty good. The developers put out a good update a couple of months ago, and they reverted a lot of the stuff that the players
Oh
didn't
yeah.
like. And the netcode is good, the gameplay is good, the viewership is high. That game's doing as perfect as one could. King of Fighters, you don't really hear too much about this game. It's kind of like being washed away with all of the new fighting games that's coming out. It's not really staying competitive in the year
City of the Wolves has
2026.
gotten it
Another game
taken care
that
of.
didn't even come close is DNF Duel.
This one
That game
was,
flopped so hard it was dead in like a month. Before
yeah.
its release, though, it was the most talked about thing on the planet. I don't know what happened to that game. Maybe someone who's still playing it to this day can explain down below in the comment section. But as for the biggest fighting game of this era, Street Fighter 6, it was a massive success. It has a lot of people playing it. It has a totally new audience, but it's silently hated. So many people dislike the way that the game is, but since their audience is a majority Japanese players, that means they don't get that much backlash, because the way that the Japanese people are, they don't really complain. They kind of complain in like silence and like secret and like behind closed doors, but they don't really do so openly. So that kind of
Exactly.
allows Japanese companies to just do whatever they want. It's muddy
Literally.
enough.
Literally. I've been trying to say this for so long. It's like whenever I say that there's a problem with Street Fighter 6, it's like everybody tells me like, "Oh, but the Japanese like like they're not complaining. Like maybe you just suck." And it's like, well, the thing is they can't complain. They literally can't complain. Otherwise, they will get heavily criticized. And if they're sponsored or something like that, like Daigo, like, you guys remember the tweet when Daigo said he thinks that the game's like offensive, or what did he say? I don't think he said randomness. He said the game's like, the way the game is makes it hard to determine who the best player is. It's basically a very watered down way of saying the game is random as hell. The game is so random. And this is just due to the mechanics of the game. 90% of the randomness comes from the mechanics, because when you have a mechanic in the game where it's so strong and it's so easy to do, where the fact that anybody can do it, it's like at that point, like, is there really even a like skill gap at all? Like, or is the skill ceiling like just so heavenly like downsized, you know?
Up what should be one of the best fighting games to ever be made. The developers are even saying that they're not going to change any mechanics.
Yeah, they're
Those
not.
throw loops that you hear people talking about all the time, it's going to stay. As for
Yep.
Mortal Kombat 1, this is another massive success. Even though that game had a lot of problems with its Nintendo port, overall the game still went on to do very well in terms of numbers. The biggest problem with
It's because Mortal Kombat is like, oh, sorry I'm pausing so much, but it Mortal Kombat's kind of like how Street Fighter 6 is like in Japan, where it's like in the US, like it doesn't matter how the game's going to play, like they're still going to buy it because it's Mortal Kombat, and like everybody in the US, probably everybody in the US knows what Mortal Kombat is. It's probably like, I'd say it's probably more popular than Street Fighter 6. I'm not just the Street Fighter series. I'm pretty sure Mortal Kombat is actually more popular than the Street Fighter series. And it can play like dog shit like it does now, and people still buy it because it's Mortal Kombat. It's just not for the competitive side.
that game is that the developers just don't support it. They did 2 seasons and then they abandoned the game. They fully embraced the idea that that game is for the casuals, which it is, but it also at one point in time was for the competition. But in the year 2026, that doesn't exist anymore. As for
Yeah.
Tekken 8, the sales remain hidden. They haven't given us an update since season 1. We're on season 3, halfway through it, by the way. The overall gameplay design is highly controversial. And just like the Street Fighter 6 developers, they say they're not going to change these mechanics. As for Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, I rarely hear people say bad things about it. And then as for the next release, you have 2XKO. And once it finally hit the shelves, no one cared about it at all. The development of the game was also rough, and on launch it was considered a flop and a bunch of its staff was laid off.
Bro, I had so much. There was like so much potential for 2XKO, bro. I thought that thing was gonna hit because it was free to play, had League of Legends characters, which everybody plays. It's like, like, but I think it's something else with 2XKO that's bringing it down.
For
It's
Invincible
something else.
Versus,
I
a
know that.
similar thing happened. The combat and gameplay was considered clunky. It had some online issues and that resulted
Oh
in
yeah,
once again some
Invincible
staff
versus.
being laid off. This all leads us to Marvel Tokon, which was supposed to be one of the greats, one of the most hype, with one of the best IPs, backed by one of the biggest publishers. And seeing that this game is going down the way that it is, Maximilian uninstalled the game, everyone's talking trash about it. I mean, I would say that it sucks, but it seems like they did it to themselves. Sony might definitely be the worst publisher in history at this point. It's almost as if they sabotaged the game. One person said that these problems feel kind of intentional. If you think about Sony's overarching plan of really destroying PC and making everybody go to PlayStation, buy games digital, sign up to their software, hand over their information. If you don't play the game in 30 days, your account get taken down. If you just think about what they've been doing, and then the way that this game released, I mean, it falls in line with the garbage. It all just adds up so perfectly. And just to list out some of the issues that I've seen that this game is suffering from, you guys can add more in the comment section, or you could tell me whether or not you disagree with these. Like I said before, I play on PlayStation, so these problems don't really affect me, but I think it's my duty to report on these because, the more people we have talk about these things, the more likely it is for it to be fixed and faster. So some of the issues that I've seen is one, PSN account is required for Steam. The second thing, and this was one of the most controversials before launch, is that the game got blocked in over a
I think that like when when a company, they make a game where it's catered to a system, and I've always said this, by the way. I've always said that PS5 is not a tournament system. And what I mean by that is it doesn't run well. It doesn't like it's all delayed, and you'll hear this when people complain about Street Fighter 6's setups in tournaments, especially when Punk did it. But people were saying that even before. It just took someone like Punk to call it out, for one more chance. So when you make a game that is made for a weak system, and then you go onto like a better system like a PC,
100
and then you like what's the word? You develop the game and you develop the netcode in order to be designed for the worst system, which PS5, then of course no shit it's gonna be like terrible on PC release. It's like, yeah, I don't know.
in 32 countries, and this is due to a PlayStation account being required on Steam. If that wasn't a requirement, all of those countries would be able to play. Sony's SDK also is running in the background. It's just like spyware, is how a lot of people who play on PC feels. There's also a lot of unnecessary loading of anti-cheat software in the background, which is
Oh
slowing down
yeah.
people's PCs. You also have terrible optimization, even though Arc System Works had popularized rollback netcode. With Marvel Tokon, it seems like they're taking a couple of steps backward. And as of now, we don't know why that is. Another head scratcher is that there is no Linux version of the game. There's also no modding of the game. This means that there is no capability of putting a potato mod on the game to make it run smoother for lower spec PCs. There is no hitbox images, and there's also no recolors with mods. Modding is such a big thing. Even Street Fighter and Tekken 8 allows it. I think Mortal Kombat even allows it as well. The developer of that game, the lead, Ed Boon, was even
What the heck? Yikes! You wouldn't believe how many times it's been suggested that we made Ed Boon as an MK fighter. Not these mods crack me up. Damn. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't. I think that it's like they can't like really. They can't really stop you from doing mods. I mean, they probably don't want it, but they can't stop you unless you're Nintendo.
interacting with some mods, so you can
And even then, Nintendo, it doesn't really like affect you. Like I had a modded Switch for years, and it's never gotten banned, but it doesn't work anymore. So rip.
see how it's embraced by other fighting games. And then another thing that you cannot do is rip the models from the game. A lot of people were complaining how you can't create any fun animations, and then the gooners out there was talking about how you can't create any goon animations. We know how much free publicity Marvel Rivals get for having these two things active. So once again, Sony's not making any sense there with that decision. All of these
Wait,
issues
isn't that
that I
Shark
listed
from League of
out is
Legends?
basically resulting in some
No, he's
players
from Marvel,
refunding
right?
the
No,
game,
that
and it's
because
also
he's from Marvel
shattering the
Rivals.
review score. It's going back and forth between mostly negative, negative, and mixed. It will probably level out in the mixed category because sadly enough, the game is honestly not bad. The game is fun. The game is awesome. Everyone who plays it loves it. Well, not everyone, but you get my point. The annoying part is that people cannot play the game. And this is resulting in the player count dropping from 30,000, which honestly it should have been way higher than that. If you take into consideration all of the connection issues, people weren't even able to get on at the same time to make the player count what it was truly supposed to be. But it dropped from the 30,000 to 15,000, and hopefully it doesn't dip down a little bit lower than that. I've seen some screenshots where it goes to about 9,000. Once more time passes, we'll be able to see what demographic and what region of the world that is. But it's just completely unnecessary for the game to be panning out this way. And of course, everything exploded when Maximilian uninstalled the game live on stream. Before I play the clip, look at the tweet he said. Tried Tokon on PS5 against only PS5 players and had a wonderful time. Even with a 3 bar, 100 plus MS, matches were smooth. Just going to stay away from the PC version completely until things get figured out. These guys have to quickly put together some type of patch to fix this because the longer that this goes on, the more people that try to get refunds, the more people that quit the game, it's only going to cause permanent damage. How often is it that people return to a game that they quit? But now let's take a look at the clip.
Yeah, it's like what I said, and the fact that Sony they're also taking off I think they're taking off like their disc thing and they're going only digital. I don't really know what that's all about, but I know like a lot of people were complaining about that too. Um, and it's like this. Obviously Arxes they were like working on the game, but Sony, if they made if the PC version is this bad to the point where the worst system runs the game better than an actual like good system, then you gotta I think you gotta like say at that point, like Sony, like they definitely like freaking they definitely they definitely did some shit with it.
Here where Maximilian actually uninstalls because this happened live on stream. So it starts off here with Maximilian playing in an online match. He's using Wolverine, Blade, Carnage, and Doctor Doom. I actually seen
Yo,
him
Carnage is
posting some
actually
Doctor
cool
Doom
though.
memes on Twitter, and this is the thing: people don't hate the game; they like the game, right?
Doctor Doom doesn't have foot dive
But
though.
you know, with the game being unplayable, it kind of forces your hand to uninstall.
Look at the glitched out victory thing. Look at the crazy ass glitched out victory above my life bar.
I didn't even realize that.
In this shit, dude. This is bad, chat. I don't think I can play this anymore. It's making me like the game significantly less. It's just like the game's unfun when we have to deal with all this. You can't do anything. You just have to like watch it stutter like crazy, you know? I've pretty much come to the conclusion I have to probably abandon the PC version. I think that's it. I think I'm going to be playing the next time we stream. I'm going to exclusively be playing the PlayStation 5 version. That's it. The PC version is just, it's too frustrating. It's too frustrating running a gambit of this even working.
So question, so is the PC version not working? Do you think that'll encourage people to boycott the PS5 version? Because, like, all the players on the PC version, they're probably going to try to, they're obviously not going to touch the game anymore. But would this create a boycott where, like, the PS5 players, they're like, wow, they did it again, and then, like, ditch the game on PS5 even, and then it just creates, like, a whole, like, you know, this whole, like, thing? I don't know. Maybe it could happen.
To being really frustrating to knowing that the PlayStation version, you can only play PlayStation people and be completely fine. So, yeah, I think I'm good. It doesn't even make me want to get better at the game. It just makes me frustrated. Let me do this. So I don't tempt myself again. Let me uninstall this so I do not have to. So I make sure I do not play it again. It's not worth it. It's not worth the frustration.
So that's a devastating blow, right? One of the biggest content creators of fighting games, and then also the biggest supporter of fighting games, because Maximilian isn't a doomer, right? Maximilian loves fighting games and he puts up serious money behind them.
I'm going to casually put out a $10,000 bounty for anybody that can solve the issue of making rollback netcode work in Ultimate Marvel 3. Smash Melee community did it, man. They did it in like a friggin' emulator wrapper. Somehow they made matchmaking, they had rollback netcode. I'd be willing to put my money towards it to help support this community and to help support this game for the long run.
Hopefully they can fix these
Sheesh, what
problems.
the
There's
heck?
a lot of dedicated people who just want to play the game. That's all the gamers want at the end of the day.
Yeah, so in conclusion, guys, Marvel Tokon, they have to do something with this PC port. You know, it honestly might just be like Sony, they might just ditch the PC version and just say fuck that, and then we're only focusing on our system, which is the PS5, which is just absolutely terrible. But it's a possibility that could happen. Nothing really else much to say, you know? It's like the game is on a really like weird spot right now. Well, on PC at least. On PS5, there's obviously no issues, but like, you know, what if they, you know, what if they start playing the game and it's like, you know, every other modern fighting game where it's like, oh, it's too offensive, and then now they actually start like boycotting the game, and it's like that's a thought that could happen on my opinion, but yeah, unfortunately, Marvel Tokon, almost said Marvel Rivals, Marvel Tokon off to a very, very rough start. And the crazy part is they did put patches in the game. They literally put patches in the game, but it didn't do anything apparently. The game is still the same from what I've seen on streams. So that'll be it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. And peace out, guys.